Salutations. Hello. We have here, yes, the a single-use tier list for raw meat. Excuse me. We are ranking this is an official ranking of the Primal Diet meat tier list, okay? I have some passages from Ogenus to read to start us off. So we're going to start with the recipe for living without disease. Just really quickly here, just a couple important things I think are worth mentioning that people probably overlook because I don't think people read the books very often. Raw meat. It's good for proteins to build, rebuild, regenerate, reproduce cells in the body. Raw meat is the only protein that facilitates nerve tissue regeneration and cellular reproduction. All meats help regenerate every type of cell, although all meats help regenerate every type of cell. Particular raw meats more readily help the regeneration of certain types of cells. So red meat, beef, buffalo, venison, lamb, regenerate and develop most glandular tissue, blood, and muscle. White meat, such as chicken, turkey, other fowl, helps the connective tissue, nerves, lymph, skin, and tissues in general. White meat, that is non-farmed ocean, wild-caught fish, and seafood, helps reconstitute nerves, including the brain. 1 to 3 pounds of raw meat daily helps regenerate and heal the body, reverse aging, degeneration, etc. It gets into some other specifics, mostly about fish, very nuanced. So there you go. It refers to Appendix P, so let's go read Appendix P real quick. And this talks about the blood types. So blood type 1, well, I'm not going to read it, I'm just going to explain it. So blood type 1 is people who have a surplus of red blood cell production, and they don't produce white blood cells so readily. And these people, they should generally eat fish, fowl, rabbit, white meat, chicken, turkey, that stuff. Eating red meat more than occasionally, you can have a tendency for irritability, impatience, over anxiousness, and over aggressiveness. So that's, important, more than occasionally. So, occasionally it's something you should have. I believe it's good to have a balance. I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe it was, if I recall correctly, Ogenus said that we should have about 30% of each type of meat, generally. And now maybe those proportions are different depending on your blood type. Maybe it's not 30% everything. Maybe it's like 10%, 40%, 40%, no, 20%, 40%, 40%, something like that. Something that adds up to 100%. The second blood type is people who naturally produce the white blood cells. And he talks about these being acidic, and alkaline, which is sort of a misnomer because it's a very fine line. Like, we're talking hundredths place of rounding that would delineate acidic and alkaline blood. Blood is, it can't fall out of the 7.3, 7.4 range. If it does, you probably die. So, just to FYI. So when you're talking to someone who, maybe you're trying to convince someone and they have a medical background or they know about biology, and if you talk about alkaline blood, you're probably just going to lose them. So I would just kind of avoid that terminology in general, personally speaking. All right. So yeah, the second blood type, you need more red meat basically because you're producing a lot of white blood cells, and that will help you be energized. If you're going to eat too much white meat, you become lethargic. Fatigue is another issue. And then there's people who have a balance of the red and white blood cells, and you can eat a balance of meat. So it is, I think, beneficial to have all kinds of meat and not swear off all kind of meat. Because I did this. I talked about this in my live stream. That when I was devoted and possessed to silencing my tinnitus, which I never did, and I may never do, I was eating fish pate, a pound and a half of fish pate, or maybe with some chicken as well, every day for 14 months, pretty much. And it was like, yeah, mostly fish, and then some of those had chicken and fish, 80-20, or like, whatever. And sour cream, right? And I was eating this way. It was not good. I was more tired. My hair was falling out. It wasn't good. Like I would just like scratch my hair, and I'd have all this hair coming out. And I've fixed that since by applying and eating more fats in general to my scalp, and eating more red meat, helping the blood be strong. Eating the tough cuts, of course, which is in the recipe for living with that disease. How tough cuts build a strong body. So, my food's over there. I'll have to wait. So, let's get into the ranking. So, this is the official meat ranking of the Primal diet. Let's get started here. We're going to go beef. And we're going to stick it S tier. S tier, guys. Yeah, this is good for the blood, the muscles, the glands. Glands are very important. Everybody's endocrine system is not good, so eating the red meat will help that. I do believe, though, that white fish is recommended for pancreas. In We Want to Live, I think it's in like the diabetes or the low insulin, the low blood sugar, or something like that. So yeah, white fish for pancreas, which I guess we'll just move into fish. Well, no, wait. I'll say one more thing about beef. I've never had, and I'm going to make another ranking where I'm going to rank my personal preferences for meat and like what I've eaten, what I've actually eaten, and the taste and everything like that. So that will be another video. But this is an objective, for people who are interested in the diet and like what to eat and why. This is more educational, informational for you. So, because we're all about educational, informational content on this channel. And let's see here. So yeah, beef, tough cuts, chuck. My goodness. It's tougher, it's cheaper, it's better for you. If you're trying to look max and grow a strong body, be an athlete, get the chuck. You're welcome. And yeah, I've never had like a piece of beef that made me like, wow, I love beef. I mean, I've had good beef, but it's not like, my... Well, no, I am eating a lot of it right now, so I'm not going to say it's not my favorite. But anyway, so we were talking about fish. Let's move on to fish. So, yeah, as I said before, fish helps regenerate the nerves. Swordfish in particular, very good for getting mercury out of the body. It could even enhance that effect if it was previously frozen swordfish. Could be. I've had fish that was previously frozen, and I've got an immediate detox reaction, like in 30 minutes. And that's because the fish also have oils in them. They have more oils than the other meat, especially different kinds of fish too, right? So the oils in the fish, what does your body use oils as a solvent? So the oils can be very cleansing for the body. And the meat is, in general, the other fats can be helpful for building, such as the nerves, as mentioned in the book. So just know that fish, the oils, some people are more sensitive than others, like escalar. So there's always warnings on escalar sashimi that it produces like, intestinal difficulties because of the oils in the fish in the escalar. So go eat some escalar. Go to a sushi bar and find some escalar and eat some, and let me know what you think. So yeah, fish, to sum up, gotta be S tier. Like, I love fish. Honestly, I think fish is great. It's top tier, and very good for the nerves, very good for the brain. Again, like, the oils can be good for cleansing, good for helping detox mercury, swordfish at least. And it's just nice. You know, you can have a lemon with it. You know, lemon on the meats is good. Can't really do that with beef. Pineapple is not good with. That's what I'll say is like pineapple isn't good with fish, but pineapple is good with beef. And lemon, it's good on beef, but it's not like diet whatever. It's not optimal. But lemon is good on fish, and it's not gonna turn it into fuel or whatever. So yeah, I love fish. It's great. I think everybody loves fish. Very good stuff. All right, so then we're going to do let's do pork. So pork, okay, pork is its own category. Why? Because pork is a hybrid. Okay, pork is like 60-40 red meat, white meat. So it's 60% red meat, 40% white meat. 60% red meat, 40% white meat in one meat. So what does that mean? Well, like if you look at pork, it's like pink. So it's not red and it's not white. And the structure of the fibers is very reminiscent of beef. Like it looks like white beef. Pork looks like white beef or pink beef. If you blend up whitefish and beef together, like some cod loin with some chuck roast, blend that together in your food processor, it's going to look exactly like pork. The color's going to be, it's going to look like pork. You're going to be like, oh, is this pork? And they usually, no, it's beef and fish. And so that's another tell. Like the colors of the meat, you mix the colors of the meat, it's like pink, and it looks just like pork. So I think Ogenus was correct in this. And pork, it has a lot of potassium, so this is a good thing. And it's also very high in fat. So pork, although I wouldn't eat it from the supermarket, it's hard to find good quality pork, especially like if it's fresh, right? Because a lot of farms, small farms, I explained in my live stream, they have to freeze it to stay in business to sell because they can't. There isn't the volume or the demand for fresh meat. So a lot of pork, it's like that comes from a farm that's good. It's usually frozen. You may be able to slaughter it yourself or get it fresh from like a specialty butcher or something. A butchery that has their own farm, their own animals. There you go. That's good. So yeah, I mean, I like eating pork. Again, a cheaper cut of meat. So if you're on a budget, pork is good because it's balanced and it's got a lot of fat on it. So that's a pro tip. And it's good to mix with like pineapple and stuff. It works kind of with everything. I don't know that I would put lemon on it because it's mostly a red meat. So I don't know about that. I never read anything about that. I don't have any long-term information about that, any long-term peer-reviewed studies. So lemon at your own risk with pork. But yeah, the fat's really good. When it's really good, it's really good. I do get sick of it though. Like I'll go through phases. I'll eat a lot of pork and then I'll stop eating it, just because it's so cheap and it's easy. I get the shoulder, the pork shoulder, the pork butt at the toughest cut, and it's got a lot of good fat on it. So yeah, pork is good. It's really versatile. Both types of meats. That's like really special in some regard. There isn't any other meat like that. So S tier. Gotta be S tier. And chicken or white meat. So I've had, chicken and turkey, duck, which I'm not a fan of duck, and guinea fowl, which is a cousin of a peacock. Best poultry fowl I ever ate. Chicken, as we explained, good for tissues, nerves, lymph system, skin. Chicken's really versatile. It's really fresh tasting. In the summer it's really hot. You may not want that heavy beef. Even the pork might be a little too much, but the chicken is nice, refreshing. A little ceviche, a little lemon, olive oil. Like what I do is like lemon, olive oil, parsley, black pepper, cherry tomatoes, or I do like hot lemon pepper chicken with, well, it's not really hot, it's just lemon pepper chicken, or sweet lemon pepper chicken, right? Yeah, honey, black pepper, lemon juice, no olive oil. maybe a little parsley for flavor, and some cherry tomatoes. Yeah, that's really good too. So yeah, chicken very versatile. Again, like fish, you can use lemon with it. It's refreshing, and yeah, it is good. It's calming. The nice thing about chicken is the one perk it has in like regards to, like, compared to beef or pork or even fish, is the connective tissue. So the tendons are smaller, the cartilage is smaller. It's a lot easier to eat, right? You get the chicken quarters, or a half a chicken, even a whole chicken. It comes, everything's together. You can get the tendons from the legs, and the cartilage where the thighs and the legs intersect. Eating all that stuff is really good. It's hard to get on beef. It's hard to eat that stuff of the beef. The tendons are really tough. The cartilage is really just like, probably not good for your teeth. So, another thing I've tried and done is I would bite the bones of the legs with these molars, and I don't do that anymore. I didn't have any problems yet, but I don't think it's worth it because there's really not like a lot of bone marrow in the chicken bones. It is kind of fun though. If you've got strong teeth, you could crack a chicken bone. It's kind of impressive. It's one of those things you're not really like aware you can be capable of. The human body's sort of a interesting specimen. So yeah, chicken, it's good for all those things, and it's got the bits you can eat, the tendons, the cartilage. Um, yeah, and if you're interested in looking at the store, like, I think Bell and Evans is a good, solid supermarket chicken. You can buy organic; it's a little better. But even the regular stuff is fine. It's air chilled, and they even have air chilled, vegetarian fed birds at Whole Foods, which you're fine too. It's really the air chilled is what I look for, because I don't have a problem with soy, so I'm not too worried about it. Um, but the air chilled is important, because otherwise they're washing it in water with chlorine, or cooling it in water with chlorine. And then, of course, if you're buying by weight, you're paying for water, your chlorinated water in your food. So, with that being said, S tier. Gotta be S tier. Um, Look, yeah, I mean, everything is S tier here. We got beef, fish, pork, chicken. They're all S tier because they're all important and they're all delicious in their own way. Eating just one type of meat is, I would not recommend it for most people, because you're going to need a balance. You're going to need a little something extra, right? Even Ogden has said most people should have a balance. Everybody should get a little bit of everything, because even though all meat regenerates the whole body, different parts specialize in different things. And nobody is the same. Everybody's body is different. Everybody needs a little something different. So it's good to switch it up. I've had to switch it up. 8 years. I've been doing it 8 years. Oops, there's the phone. 8 years almost. I say 8 years. It's, in 3 months. It'll be 3.5 months. It'll be 8 years. So I needed to switch it up. Was that year 4? Yeah, year 4. No, year 4, year 5. Because I was doing red meat, and then like pork and red meat, and then chicken, and then just all fish and chicken for like almost a year and a half, 14 months, and it got bad. Like I said, I was losing hair. I was lethargic. I wasn't gaining the muscle I wanted to. I was getting fatter, but I wanted, to tone up my muscles more. But I definitely became more solid with red meat. Ogenus even related a story from a client, some actor, some kid who was in some movies. Well, it wasn't a kid. He was actually a grown ass man when Ogenus came to him. But he said he looked like a kid. He had like a build like he was still a teenager, and he just ate a bunch of red meat. And then his growth, he grew into what looked like a man. So I even experienced this because I always had a leaner frame. I had muscle, but I wasn't big. I was pretty thin, and I've been eating a lot of red meat over the years, especially when I first started. I'm eating more red meat like when I first started now, but anyway, and people will remark on my physique. They'll say, wow, you're really built. Wow, you look like you lift weights. You've been working out? Yeah, you look good. You've been working out? It's like, no, I just eat raw meat. I work outside and I do physical things, but I don't have a workout routine like I used to. So if you're looking to, like I said, looks max, get big, have muscles, have strength. Look at Patrick Ivan. He eats a ton of red meat, and he's in great shape. Boban as well, Flesh God. You know, those guys eat a ton of red meat, and look at them. They're just nasty beasts. So if you want to be a nasty beast, eat your red meat. Chicken, fish, it's not going to do it for you. Pork might, but chicken and fish, it's not going to do it unless you ate maybe like more than 3 pounds a day, I would say, with the eggs and everything. So anyway, that's the official Primal Diet meat tier ranking list. Everything's S tier. I'm going to make another video where I go through and rate every single type of meat I've ever eaten. Maybe cooked and raw, maybe just raw. I haven't decided yet. But that's about all for the stream, or that's not streaming now. That's about all for the video. If you're interested in learning more, I have a school community set up. So it's a blossoming school community. We'll have weekly Q&As. I haven't published any information yet, so maybe wait for like an official video where I actually have some stuff up there that's worth joining for. So I'm working on a vegetable juice document. I'm working on like herd share stuff, so you can start your own herd share, because I've done that. And yeah, just other general things I think of. I have a few things planned. Don't want to give it all away, but when I have stuff posted, I'll make a post. So if you're waiting to join, go ahead and wait, you know, when there's something there. So anyway, I'm going to stop yapping. Thanks for watching.